This 4-year-old girl was beaten so badly, her eyes shut for months.
But I know my baby's going to be whole again.
2 years ago, TSR Investigates told you that her own father, a rising Atlanta rapper, was the one who police believe did it.
Her whole right side of her brain was damaged.
Alani Watts is now 6 years old, living proof that miracles do happen. This is what she looks like now. And the TSR roommates helped big time. When y'all got word, the donations poured in, raising $10,000.
She's more responsive. She smiles.
The hurdles ahead for the family as Alani's father heads to trial.
I'm Justin Carter. This is TSR Investigates Updates.
Keyonna Watts has one regret, sending her then 4-year-old daughter Alani to California to visit her father, Tekquan Alexander. This was back on November 29, 2021. Alexander had moved to LA from Atlanta to pursue a rap career.
A detective called me and informed me that my daughter was bleeding from the brain and has had emergency surgery.
That was in June 2022 when Watts spoke exclusively to TSR Investigates. She says Alexander was lying to her on FaceTime.
Told me that Alani passed out standing in timeout. When I asked him, was she okay? How she passed out, he really wasn't answering me. Like, he was just shaking his head and covering his mouth like this.
This is what Alani looked like in the hospital. The 60-page police report revealed that her father, Tekquan Alexander, told investigators that, quote, the child is a bedwetter, and when she wets the bed, he punishes her by making her do rigorous exercises with an element of physical abuse, like hitting with boxing gloves, hitting her with a belt, and hitting her with a speaker wire. The report also goes on to say on the day that Alani was rushed to the hospital, she, quote, wet the bed, so he made her do wall planks, then he gave her a whooping with a belt. During this whooping with the belt, the child tried to protect herself by moving a stereo speaker in front of her to block the father's actions. The father then proceeded to take the speaker wire and whoop her with that, then had her do more rigorous exercises while he drew her a bath. Moments later, it says, quote, that when he found his child was having seizure-like symptoms and appeared to be losing consciousness, he put her in the bath in an effort to revive her. When that did not work, he called 911, end quote. You can see here, she also got puncture wounds and deep bruises all over her body. The Shade Room also obtained the ER report. It says that Alani, quote, had extensive bleeding located on the right side of her brain, and because of the building of pressure, the child's right part of her skull was removed to evacuate the bleeding.
I was confused because I talked to Alani all the time when she was out there. I got pictures all the time from him.
Though it's been a difficult year and a half, we did speak to Watts, who does have some promising news.
Merry Christmas.
She sent us this video from Christmas, Alani smiling, opening her eyes, and responding to the sound of her mother's voice. We spoke to her over the phone.
She does therapy for physical, speech, and occupational stretches, to keep her muscles going.
But Watts says it's been a challenge going back to work because she is Alani's primary caretaker and up until now relied on the Georgia pediatric program known as GAP to help with Alani's care.
I need support. I have to pay a nurse out of my pocket, but I don't work.
Recently, the program revoked their weekly access to an at-home nurse. They used to get a nurse 56 hours a week. They now only get 8 hours a week.
I've been told by different nurses and social workers that 9 times out of 10 we'll have to leave the state of Georgia to get the proper help.
And it's the reason why she launched a second GoFundMe to offset costs while she figures out her next move. And grateful for the TSR roommates who donated upwards of $10,000 when we first reported the story. She says that it's been helping with Alani's food and clothes that she needs as she grows up.
I know my baby's going to be whole again.
We reached out to the Georgia pediatric program about this to ask why Alani's assistance has been revoked. They told us over the phone to reach out to the State Department of Community Health, which we did. In the meantime, Alexander right now is in the Ventura County Jail. He is awaiting trial March 22nd. He faces charges of assault, mayhem, torture, and child endangerment. If you'd like to donate to that second GoFundMe that Keyonna Watts has set up, you can find that link on our website, theshaderoom.com. For TSR Investigates Updates, I'm Justin Carter.